the weapon that was seized from him was identified with the Oka Lounge shooting.
Rise up, take your position. Rise up, make that decision. God will provide all your needs. He wants you to succeed. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
Welcome to the Drexel SEMA Show. So this is the guest I am interviewing today. This is the second time on the Drexel SEMA Show, and that is Commissioner Fitz Bailey, Mr. Fitz Bailey. And, you know, with what's happening in Turks and Caicos, I thought it'd be fitting to invite him again. He's been in the role as commissioner, I think, since April. We've seen a lot of activities taking place. We've seen improvement in it. We've seen tips being handed off to the police. We've seen some gang leaders or people involved in the gangs being captured. And I think people feel a little bit more at ease. We're still there. We're not completely there. But I thought it'd be very, very fitting to have Mr. Bailey on the show again to provide us with an update of what's going on and what we can expect. With that said, I want to welcome Mr. Bailey to the Drexel SEMA Show again. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. How has it been going so far for you?
It has been a very, it's should I say a hilly ride?
Yeah.
But we are seeing some significant progress, and that's what I'm grateful for. My coming to TCI, as was stated in my previous interview, was something that was an unusual situation. I had no idea or intention. I didn't know much about TCI. As I indicated before, I just came out of retirement, having served JCA for 40 years and 8 months, planning to just retreat in my retirement and just enjoy some time. And it happened that I'm here. Since my coming, we did a number of assessment of, the police force, look at the landscape, look at the nation, what are some of the strengths and weaknesses, and within law enforcement, what are some of the opportunities that existed. And so we embarked on a road. We embarked on a road to, when I just came, we had, at the time when I came, I think we had over 30 odd murder. That was in October, near 40 murders.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's a year ago.
Yeah, that's in October when I came. And then we embarked on a journey because it's about the safety of the nation. It's about confidence in the law enforcement agencies. It's about reducing the fear of crime and reducing crime. We did a lot of assessment, analysis, and then we came up with a plan. We decided, as you know, TCI, I don't think we were prepared as a police force to deal with the level of violence that existed. And so we sought support from UK. We got some ex-police officers who were armed officers. They came from the Red Snapper. And then we looked at the region and we got some support from Barbados. And then a contingency of 30 officers also came from Jamaica. There were, I think, 9 persons from Barbados. They spent about 2 months before they returned. And then we were doing fairly well in terms of crime reduction, murder reduction. Up to July, we had a reduction of 31%.
In comparison to the prior year?
In comparison to the prior year, year to date. That incident at Oka Lounge really created a significant impact, where the 13 persons or people were shot and injured and 4 ultimately died. And prior to that, 2 days before, our most wanted person, Andral Percival, kidnapped 2 brothers coming out of a domestic issue because he wanted to re-engage his girlfriend, who he was very abusive to. And she refused, and he actually took away her 2 brothers and executed them.
Oh.
So we had 6 murders, and there was another one, 7 murders within the space of 1 week. So that really impacted on our crime data, and it created a significant fear in the society. And those of us who, read, the social media was, blazed up with and sensationalization, because one of the things is that sometimes when we don't put things in perspective, it creates significant problem. And we look at the economic implication for that, because we rely heavily on tourism. So what you've found is that, the travel advisories and there was recently a publication in the BBC, which was unfortunate that, you're doing a story like that. You don't speak to the source. We are the source, the police. I think it would, to have a balance, they needed to have, reach out to the formal structure to get, so that also created significant impact but we were not, faced by it. The incident at Oka Lounge, we decided that when you have these type of incidents, you have to be decisive as a police force. We have been doing what I consider to be, for many years, a more reactive approach to policing, where the tactical unit tend to respond after the fact. So one of the strategy that I'm using, and I can speak to that, we are going to be up in the face of the criminal. We're going to find you wherever you are. We're going to be very proactive. And that is the approach we did. Some of the officers were deployed at strategic locations. You remember that we got some additional power, legislative power, where we could impose curfews. And that people sometimes don't understand the dynamics of curfews, and it's a natural desire to see immediate results. But we were deliberate in what we do, because we had a plan. We knew that, for example, the most wanted person, Andral Percival, was basically residing in the Snake Hill area, and those informal community provided safe haven. So it's a strategy that we used, and we were able to basically remove the sort of structure that he created, a structure of protection.
Got it.
And so we were constantly pursuing him. There was a team that was dedicated to pursue him. And the public will not know that. The team stays, for example, and I can say it now, it's after the fact. Night and day, they were in the bushes, 48 over 50 hours, consistently.
So how did you know he was in that area? I mean,
intelligence and
people call and people tip you off.
We get the information. We have our guys on the ground who are able to. We have some intelligence officer who, we deployed, and we get the intelligence, and then so we knew that he was domiciled in that general area. And so the first instance, as you know, one of his lieutenants was injured, but he escaped.
Yes.
And then following that, another one was fatally shot, and then he was killed, and then another one of his lieutenants. So essentially what we have done, we have disrupted that network significantly. We know that some of them have actually fled the island.
You know that for sure?
Yeah, we know that for sure. And then we also had other gangs that were operating. The persons who were responsible for the Oka Lounge shooting, we know all of them.
Really?
We know every one of them. We may not have made some of the arrests now, but we know every single one of them, who they are. The issue is sometimes to get the evidential support. Because sometimes people are afraid to come forward and say, this is what we observed. So we're using all the other evidential structure, technology, ballistics, science, and the case is well advanced.
Okay.
Well advanced.
That's good to hear.
The person that was killed, the first person that was killed by the police, the weapon that was seized from him was identified with the Oka Lounge shooting.
Oh.
So I hear a lot of people making a lot of statements about innocent and he was not a part of the weapon, the ballistic link that weapon to that scene. So, and then you know that there were some other persons who engaged the police and unfortunately, it would have been better for them to stand trial, but if you're going to challenge the police, we must win. We are trained, my officers are trained, they have superior training, and I don't expect any of them not to return when I send them on an assignment. So those 4 persons that were unfortunately killed, they are serious criminal, organized crime criminals who are very involved in organized crime. Percival, as you know, he's responsible for about, I think, between 12 and 14 murders. We have people who are now roaming our street who are responsible for over 22 murders. And these are people who are domiciled within this country.
People now?
Yeah, they are people.
Okay.
And we know every one of them. These are what I consider to be serial killers. They kill with impunity. They kill for nothing. And the type of policing, community-based policing, cannot deal with those people. You have to use hardcore. It's a mixture of policing. Community-based policing, we need to win the public confidence. And that is going to be won by our consistency and our professionalism. Because I think that is important, how we interact with the public, how we treat the ordinary citizen, how we show that level of respect. Those are important factors that we must develop as a police force. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to institute. And as I engage the men and women, I want them to understand that every single citizen in this country deserves our respect. And we are trained, and not everybody is going to be pleasant, we know, but we are trained. And at the end of the day, when we interact with a citizen, we consider them a customer, they must feel empowered during the interaction with the police.
And have you seen improvement in the trust from the community?
Yeah, it is improving. I am getting the feedback from the citizens themselves. I'm getting the feedback from the police. We are getting better at our getting information. And that's why we are now so successful, because it's not just about police going in and infiltrating community, but it's the citizens that are supporting us. They see hope. And I believe once you see hope,
it makes a lot of
people
difference.
will respond. And I'm grateful, and I want to express my sincere thanks to the citizen, because the citizens are the eyes and the ears and just about everything. The police are not omnipresent. The citizens see every act of criminality. They see every act, although some are unwilling. And I can understand the fear. So we need that level of support. You just tell us. You don't have to identify yourself. Just tell us what you know, and we will take the appropriate action.
And they could call 911 or Crime Stoppers.
Crime Stoppers, yes. And I hope that I'm planning to create another number so that people can call in. But I will announce that at the appropriate time.
Because I was disturbed, right, with the incident that happened with the individual who was found in the vehicle, right? And it seems like based on an individual said 3 people called him. I was really taken back as to why they didn't call the police when they saw that, that vehicle abandoned for 2 days, Yeah,
it's about trust. And we have to, when we see the gap, we have to try and plug that hole in terms of how do we allow and cause the public to trust us. And that is very important. And if the police don't know, we just don't know. If there's an incident and somebody don't report it to us, unless we have a patrol and we come up on it, we just don't know. And we are appealing to the citizens. When you see any unusual situation, call 911. And we are trying to improve the capacity of the staff at 911 and in terms of how they interact with the public. I get complaints from time to time about the type of questions that are asked. They work under serious stress. Think about the amount of call one of those operators get every day. Sometimes and sometimes the calls can be a little, annoying, and they sometimes are subject to all type of disrespect as well. And I would appeal to the citizen that when you interact with the 911 operators, just show some respect. They work under severe stress. Every incident of shooting, every incident of crime, it is transmitted to them, and they have to be calling in, and they have to do it. So they work under stress.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then you mentioned about the BBC article, and I'm glad you brought that up because I too didn't like it. And so, I responded to the article because I thought it was very sensational.
Yes.
And I agree with you that, they should at least come to the source, speak to you, hear your point of view.
Yes.
So I'm glad you brought that up earlier in this discussion.
But I want to point out something here, that tourism is the main economic state within this country. And I think it is a responsibility of every citizen to guard and protect that industry. Whilst you don't want to muzzle people and the independence of whether social media, bloggers or journalists, but we have to be responsible. If we destroy our economy, we have nothing to survive with. And so when you put in perspective the crime within TCI, last year we had 48 murder, which was in fact, when you examine it per capita, it was one of the highest within the Caribbean and Latin America. Yes, we accept that. This year, we are now 31% less than where we were last year. But I will hasten to say, when you look at crime against tourists, for this year, we have had just 6 instances of crime, what you call offense against the person, crime against tourists. When you calculate that, it translates to 0.00002, which is minuscule. When you look at the region,
yes,
the crime against tourists is almost non-existent based on that. And I think those are the messages that we need to promulgate. When you look at property crimes against tourists, we had 33 property crimes against tourists this year.
When you say property, you mean invading the
they
property?
might report that they missed something, they left their room and something was stolen.
Okay.
It's not that somebody attacked them, but they are saying that they lost it, or maybe it was stolen. Now, I know tourism. I sort of understand the tourism industry. Jamaica is one. We depend heavily on it. And in many instances, some of those reports are false because they do it in order to get back some insurance. So they may miss their property and they will come and tell you that it is stolen to get our police report to get. And when you even look at the 33, and you 33, 2 million tourists, that translates to, again, almost nothing in percentage, 0.000, so about 50, I think 3. So it essentially, what I'm trying to say, Turks and Caicos Islands is open for tourism. There's no threat to visitors. It is the safest country within the region. And the data, no one can challenge the data. The data is suggesting that we are the safest destination. And I want to appeal. I think I'm going to use it to appeal to the visitors. TCI is safe. As a police organization, and we have the responsibility for security, we are now instituting what you call a tourism policing structure, whereby we are policing the tourism sector and the business sector as well. Because we are not only looking at tourism, the police, but also nightlife. Because nightlife also is very important to the viability of the economy. So we also are creating that type of structure.
That's good. I'm glad you brought that up with the tourism part because, if you read the articles, sometimes it's really misleading. It makes people think that every day, it's like, and it's not every day we experiencing a murder, and so I'm glad you brought that up.
And it is important for me to reinforce the point that the murders that we are seeing generally is gang and gang, is inter-gang and intra-gang conflict. So the general public is not targeted And there are times when you call it, if you want to call it, families of gang members. Because if there's a saying, if you can't catch, the
person, they'll catch
you
their
can't-
family member.
Their family member. But generally, that's what you find. It's not violence against people just randomly.
Yeah.
It is because of there are some gangs which, in fact, I will hasten to say that no, they are on their back foot. We have arrested 13 gang members. They are before the court. They are either remanded, or some of them, I think about 4 of them, are on bail. So we are making some inroad in dismantling and disrupting the gang. And we're not going to stop until we bring every one of them to a state where they cannot reorganize or regroup. And that's one of the missions that we are on.
That is awesome.
And I appeal to the public again for your support.
Yes.
Because it's through partnership. It's through all of us working together to build this country. There's no, we need to now recognize that this is a time for us to unite against the evil of crime. Because crime does not benefit the majority, it benefits a few.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I know you mentioned, I don't remember, because I know there's 4 persons that were killed by the police.
Yes.
I think one of them you had mentioned was responsible, you say, for 13 to 14 murders.
That's Andre Percival.
Right.
Percival.
So
remember, he was wanted for the past 6 or 7 years.
right. And I know the public was asking, will the police let those families know the 13 to 14 murders that he's responsible for? Will the public get to know?
Ultimately, we will do that. We are going to put it on our Facebook page to say these are I think we have started the process already. We have started the process.
Oh, okay.
But we will ensure that, because closure too is very important.
Very
to
important.
me. If you are a victim of crime, you want closure, you want to know what and why, and those are the questions. Maybe we can't answer the why, but we can say this is the person who's responsible.
Right. And we capture that person.
That. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, there's also in terms of the killing of those persons, some people believe that it was intentional by the police to kill those individuals rather than capturing them and bringing them to court for justice. What do you say to those critics?
There's no police officer that go on duty to kill anybody. The police have a responsibility. We are protectors of life. But if our lives are threatened, then we have to act. I don't want one of my police, when they go on duty, not to return.
True.
And if you're going to challenge my officer, I say to every criminal, when the police call on you to surrender, surrender. Because my officers are well trained. There's no intentional killing. As a matter of fact, if you look at the last 4 incidents, and if you look at the ballistics, they are being investigated. I don't want to say much because they are independent investigators. But there were not a lot of shots that were fired. In one instance, 4 shots were fired. And this is what I got from the investigator. 4 shots, 2 from the police and 2 from the criminal. And the ballistics is there to show. And it's not a situation where the police went and just, no. They did, and it's obvious that the police were protecting themselves.
And so, like in a situation like that, is there like an independent investigation?
When we have police involved shooting, we get someone from another British overseas territory to do. So currently, those are being investigated by Cayman Islands, independently of us. We have no input at all.
Right.
They do it on their own.
Right. And I think there was an incident recently with a robbery, and people were saying, how come we didn't shoot the robber? How come we let that robber get away? I don't remember.
We can't. If your life is not in danger, we can't. The use of force policy defines how a police must use force and the proportionality of the force that must be used.
Okay.
You can't shoot somebody who is robbing somebody unless the robber is endangering somebody's life. That is the basis on which you use what you call deadly force.
Okay.
You can't, if a person is running away from you, you can't use deadly force under those circumstances.
Right.
So the use of force policy is very clear, very stringent, and sometimes I think it's very, very, very difficult even for the police to under these circumstances. There are some other countries that the use of force policy is more liberal and more, but the use of force policy here is very, very stringent. It's very, very, it is not very broad.
I understand.
You talk about your action must be justified. When you discharge your firearm, you must be able to legally justify it. And you have to show that it was proportionate with the force that you were threatened with.
Okay.
And in some instances, what I'm used to in my own former jurisdiction, not only must it be justified, it must be legal, but it must be morally justified as well. So the morality, one may ask, how do you define morality? But you want to ensure that your action is not only legal, but the moral part of it is also included.
Got it. So you're not from Turks and Caicos.
Yes.
You're from Jamaica. Sometimes there's a lot of negative insinuations about you being from Jamaica. How do you keep focus with the social media, accusing you of being from Jamaica, only looking out for Jamaicans? How do you stay focused?
For me, I've done 40 years of policing before. I worked in a more stressful environment in my previous job. You have to contend with all type of issues. I am accustomed to a structure some years ago where every action of the police, you would see people not every action, but a lot of action, people raising placard, we need justice. You're called Babylon, you're called all sorts of names. So I've seen transition from those sort of system until you become a more professional force where people now start to applaud what you have done. I am a Christian as well. I did psychology. I have a master's in psychology.
Okay.
So I really understand how to process and it's organize your thinking and recognize. There's a little phrase I always say to people. You need to put on blinders or blinkers like the horses. Just when horses are on the track, they put on this thing to remove distraction. I look at the finishing line.
Okay.
I came to do a job. I am not perfect. I know that there are going to be negatives. One of the things that I try to do is to be transparent, to be professional. And when those negatives, I'm certain cannot be validated by anything. So I am not perturbed. I'm not disturbed by it. What I want to do, my focus, is to create a Turks and Island police, Royal Turks and Caicos Island police force that is professional, that has the capacity to deal with the emerging crime, to deal with the reality, a force that is respected by the public, and a force that respects the people. That's what I want, and that's what I'm striving to. Change is normally resisted. Nobody likes change, and I understand that. And as you seek to change, as you seek to, you'll hear, this is Turks and Caicos Island. I will say this, the world is not going to grind to a halt or pause to work, to wait for Turks and Caicos. We are living in a global space, a global world. And Turks and Caicos Islanders must recognize that. The world not going, it's not going to pause. It's not going to. So what I'm saying, we need to unite our effort. It doesn't matter if you were born here, if you are an expat, once you have the interest, you know what I'm praying and hoping for? And I'll say it, we need some people who are about nation building and not their own personal interests. What I find is that a lot of people, all they are concerned about is their personal interests. And there's no commitment to nation building. There's no loyalty to the country. What we need to strive for is to create a force, not only within the police force, but a nation that is loyal and wants to build their nation and not themselves.
Got it.
I think that is critical.
I think so too. I think so too.
And what I find in my interaction, even within the force, one of the most difficult sometimes, it's about the money. It's about how can I earn an extra dollar, whilst that is important for your own survival. But the nation is bigger than that.
Yeah.
What is your projection? What is your plan for the nation? And I think maybe whether it be NGO or somebody, some institution need to start a drive to say, let's get back to the foundation, our civic pride. How do we ensure that we build and we teach our children to respect symbols and respect our anthems and respect our national songs, and how do we cause our children to respect each other?
Yeah.
It's about self-respect, respect for others, and respect for your God. I think we need to get back to those fundamentals.
Those
basic fundamentals. Yeah. So I am not really disturbed. I know that even within the organization that I am in charge of, I'm going to get pushback. And the pushback is coming fast and furious. But I am focused.
That's good.
It's not about my personal interest. If I had personal interest, really and truly, I would not be here. I don't honestly, when I tell people that this must be divine why I'm here, I said it to the governor just maybe about 3 days ago. I got a call from Jamaica. What can we do to get you back? We need your service. Tell me, think about it. I've started something here, I'm going to end it.
Yeah. I like what you're saying about the nation building. It's very, very important.
It is important.
Very crucial.
It is important.
Yeah.
When you look at the fragility of our tourism sector, it's very fragile. It's just one act can basically wipe out.
Yeah.
And if that happens, it's going to be devastating for the entire nation.
Yeah.
And I think people need to rise up and recognize those reality. And every one of us need to contribute something to protect our economy. That's important.
Yeah.
So law enforcement to me is not just about policing. Police officers to me are the greatest drivers of economic development. If there is instability in our security structure, there's no way we can have a strong economy. No investor will be lured or will be attracted to come, or the country will not attract investors to be here. So when I speak to my officer, one of the things I tell them, you are a driver of economic development. Your action or non-action will contribute to the success or failure of this country.
Absolutely. And speaking about Jamaica, I saw where is a promotion training at the UWI, and there were a lot of critics saying that why did you choose UWI? Why didn't you go to the community college? Tell us about that training.
Put it this way. We wanted, our promotion system has been a very controversial one over the years. I came and inherited a structure. When you get, it's a small country. And you get the type of complaint. People lack confidence in the structure. People refuse from taking the exam because they believe that there's no transparency. We decided the last promotion exam took place about 2021.
Really?
2021 was the last time they had one here. We had one. And so we decided to do it this year. We started the process in terms of lecture and all of that. Then I'm getting the complaints all over that paper has been leaked, information, all of that, all sort of things complaint I'm getting. Sometimes I think the public need to know. Sometimes we try to keep some things inside. So having heard that, I don't lay any blame on anybody. Because we know that it's a country that is sometimes you have a lot of gossip and all type of. So I consulted with my executive and I said, no, what we are going to do now, we are going to get an external body to drive and develop our exam process. And so we looked at about 3 different universities, not only University of the West Indies. And we had 3 quotations and UWI really is a household name in the region. It's not about Jamaica, it's regional. And if we understand, it has
And they have branches in different locations.
So we decided to go with them. I think it's a great opportunity. The person who is leading the charge was some senior, I don't know if it's a professor at the College of Policing in England. So she knows everything about policing. So they have now developed the exam and they will be administering the exam. And we also are partnering with them to look at some other contribution in terms of capacity building for the Royal Turks and Caicos Island Police Force.
Okay.
And I think it's something that I am encouraging every one of my members to really grab with their two hands.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for us. Too. I'm thinking of even the whole reopening of our training facilities. They can contribute significantly in terms of guidance and support to that. So, and then as we are on that, when I look at, since my being here, the Jamaica Police College, we have had 3 persons at the level of inspector. They have done the junior command program. That is very important. And if you talk to anyone in the region, they will tell you about the quality of that program. The police college in Jamaica, and I'm putting things in perspective. There are over 300 police colleges across the world, and only 33 of them are certified. And among those who are certified is the Jamaica Police College. It is internationally certified. So when you get a certificate from that, you can go anywhere. Not only have we sent 3 persons, they have completed the junior command course. I think it was about 17 weeks or something like that. I don't remember the exact period. But we also have another 5 that commence another junior command course just Monday of this week. And we also have the Detective Training Institute, where we have selected 5 people who will be doing an advanced diploma. That diploma they will do it for over a year. And that diploma can be used within any police organization. And we also have an exchange program where we have 1 member who is now in Dubai. Dubai.
Oh.
So we are building the capacity. We are looking at the possibility of doing what you call an accelerated promotion program, where we identify some bright people with capacity and fast track them. We want to capitalize on another country's program, and once they go on that program, if you're a constable, within 3 years, you become at least an assistant superintendent. So you want to build a strong officer corps, with capacity and the training, because we have to evolve. We have to build the force. We are not a country in isolation. Policing is changing. When you look at regionally, even in terms of the qualification to be a police, it's not what it used to be many years ago. In some region, almost every police officer has at least a first degree.
Right.
So we have to upskill our police. And we can't be left alone as a police. I'm not saying that we are going to recruit people with degree. If we get them, we'll find a way how we can utilize. And I think within the Royal Turks and Caicos Island Police, there are a number of officers with degree and they are not being utilized effectively. And one of the things that I want to do is to effectively use the resources. It's not a personality thing. The pillar on which I decide to lead this force is to look at the people. And when I talk about the people, not only look at the internal people, what do you want a police officer, an ideal police officer, to be like? In terms of when you see them on the road, what would you like their appearance to be? So you talk about purpose-built uniform that can adjust to the accoutrement. So if they're going to wear a body-worn camera, the body-worn camera can be fitted on it. They have to carry less lethal weapons. That can be fitted on it. I want my police officers to look immaculate when they're on there. So there must be consistency in the type of uniform they wear. But not only that, their capacity We have to ensure that they can compete with any other police force within the world, because you have language that you're speaking. Can they speak the police language? Can they interact? Two constables from different country, can we interact effectively using the police language and understanding the dynamics of policing?
Right.
And our officer corps, how do we build that capacity within the officer corps, that they represent the country effectively?
Right.
That's important. So you look at the people, the condition of service, the physical infrastructure development. That is outside my remit. I have to depend on our, our political administration to give the various budgetary allocation. But how do we create the proper infrastructure, the building that they work in, purpose-built building, the environment? You talk about the wellness of the men and women. That's something that is ever since I came, I've been talking about that. Yeah. The mental health. We have officers who work like within the forensic scenes of crime unit. They see every dead body. They go to every crime scene. The frontline workers, they have to do the coroning. People are victimized in many ways, and they have to deal with the victims of crime. Sometimes if you're not careful, you pull it. Those of us who do psychology, you can pull the person's emotion to yourself. How do we create an outlet whereby those persons can go through a process of unloading what we need? And this is what I'm advocating for, a wellness center. We have psychologists and psychiatrists who, whether every 3 months or every 4 months, those officers are given an opportunity that their mental health is impacted by that. So those are some of the things that are very important. So we talk about the people. You want to ensure that all of those elements, so you talk about the welfare of the individual. Yeah. And then you talk about technology. How do we, before I go to technology, the process, seamless process that is transparent, process that is audible, systems and process are in place. Not complicated, very simple. Every person internally, externally understand the process. If you want to make a complaint against the police, where do you go? If you want a police record, where do you go? What sort of system do we have? If you want a firearm license, where do you go? We need to establish those processes, clear. The promotion process. Internal customers know that if I do this, if I tick these boxes, I'm likely to be promoted. I can apply for my promotion exam, etc. And then how do we leverage technology to support all that we are doing? How do we leverage technology to support investigation? Technology is not a thing. Technology is a solution. How do we use a solution in our everyday activity, both administratively? How do we use it forensic for forensic purpose, cyber, all of those? And then we look at how do we now partner with various stakeholders. So it's stakeholdership. How do we integrate and how do we work with our stakeholders? So we create that partnership and integration. And then the impact of communication, strategic communication. How do we communicate to the public? And communication must be internal and external.
Absolutely.
And how do we brand and sell and market what we have? And so that's my vision, that's my dream, that is what I think will really build us as a force. So that we are respected, not only locally but internationally. And we are the people's force. I want the citizens to know that we are their we are servant of the people.
It sounds like a very good plan. It sounds like, I mean, it will take a while, but it sounds like a very good plan. So in terms of the mobile stations, I know you have one, right? You have one mobile.
Yeah, can I just deal with some other issue before I go to that? So one of the concerns and some of the concerns that have been expressed on social media and otherwise, because you have people sending all type of voice notes without merit and they make allegations. I'm not really focused because I'm not distracted by that. But let me give you a breakdown. We have over 326, maybe a little more than that in terms of policing.
326?
Yeah. Okay. We have, it's a little more than that. We have islanders, 125
Okay.
islanders. We have 83 Jamaicans.
Okay.
We have 31 Vincentian. We have 23 Asians. We have 9 from
Dominican Republic?
Republic. Yes, and we have, I think, 7 from Trinidad. That's not general. Then there are
None
7
from the UK? We don't have any from the UK?
and we have some, but then these are temporary.
Oh, okay.
And then we have there are about, the last figure I was told there are about 21 nationalities working in the force. We have even people as far as from Africa who are a member of the force.
Okay.
But I want the public to understand this. You have one Jamaican who is the commissioner of police. And the next of the 83 Jamaicans, there are only 2 who are sergeants. No other rank. They are all constables. So 81 of the 82 are constables. So contrary to what is being perpetrated and promoted on social media, that I am promoting Jamaicans and I'm giving Jamaicans position and preference, there's no truth in it. Of the people that I sent on Junior Command Corps, the 3 that went, there's not one Jamaican. The 5 that are on the course now, there's not one Jamaican. In terms of the detective training, I think there's 1 Jamaican out of the 5. The person that is now in Dubai is a Jamaican. I had nothing to do with that person. 4 persons were nominated. Only 3 of them were islanders, 1 Jamaica. The selection was done by Dubai. They were given the names, they go through a process, and Dubai selected.
So Dubai is paying for this?
Yeah, it doesn't cost us anything.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't cost us anything. So what I'm saying, the idea that I am promoting Jamaicans,
I understand what you're saying.
There is no truth.
I'm glad you brought clarity to that.
The only person that I've selected so far as a Jamaican is my staff officer. And let me tell you why. She's not a sergeant, she's an acting sergeant. And I'm not afraid, because people making all sorts of issue about her. That person was the top cop in Jamaica before she came here. There's a thing they call the LASCO top cop. For you to be a LASCO top cop, you have to go through a rigorous process. It tests your intellectual capacity, it tests your endurance, your integrity, all of those. And she was a sergeant before she came here. She came and she is a constable. She's well trained, university graduate, has the competence, and nobody can challenge that competence. I just need the public to understand. This is not about personality. This is about ability. This is about the ability to support and
getting things done.
Get things done. That's all.
That's what
all
it should be about, you know.
So and let me go back into the officer. So you have 1 deputy commissioner who is an islander, and an acting deputy commissioner who is an islander, 2 1 full assistant commissioner islander, 1 acting assistant commissioner islander.
And that is your executive team, right?
Team.
Yeah.
Yes. In terms of the officer corps now, you have 6 islanders as ASP, 4 Vincentian as ASP, 1 Grenadian.
What is ASP?
Assistant superintendent.
Oh, okay.
You have 11 inspectors as islanders. You have 7 Vincentians, 1 St. Lucian, and 1 Asian, who is acting inspector. He's a full inspector. And then you have the rest you have sergeant, 40 sergeant, and of the 40, 19 are islanders. So the idea about my supporting, whether it's Jamaican, they normally say Jamaican or maybe Caribbean, there's no truth in it. I have promoted 2 persons since I've been here. I've promoted 1 islander, and another person is from, I think he was born here, but I don't not remember his nationality. 2 persons I've promoted so far. So I want that to be very, very clear.
Yeah.
And let it be said and let it be known that I am not going to promote anybody based on your nationality. I'm going to promote people based on your competence, based on your discipline, your work, worth, and conduct. So whether you're an islander, you're a Vincentian, you're a Jamaican, I have no personal interest. I have interest in building an organization. Yeah. And I want the public to know that it's about building an organization.
Because it'll be a reflection of you as well.
Exactly. It's about building an organization. Yeah. So personality and nationality is of no moment to me as I lead this organization. Yeah. I want to lead with integrity, transparency, and openness. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'd ask you a question before you went into your stats. I don't remember what it was. You remember what it was? I was asking you, and you say you want to share that information.
I don't remember, but it might come back.
All right, no problem. So, I mean, going forward, you have your vision, you laid out what you want. So it seems to me that the community can see hope happening. And
yes, I will reassure the community that we're not getting back to the past.
Yeah.
Those people who continue to and think that they can destroy TCI, you have a guest coming. Yeah. We are not going to stand by and allow you to destroy this beautiful by nature island. They're very beautiful, these islands, very beautiful, friendly. We are not going to allow the hostile force to put the people in fear. Yeah. We are taking back our country and we are not going to stop. Yeah. We want to bring TCI to the place that it used to, the former glory, if I may use that term, in terms of people going about their business. Yeah. What you find, the violence has impacted business in so many ways that nightlife, if you're not careful, does not exist. Yeah. We have to put restriction on nightlife activity. We want to go back to the place where nightlife, which is vital to the economy, can continue to run and people can enjoy themselves without any fear. Yeah. We recognize that there are weapons on the island as well. Yeah. And I need to say that we have recovered 17 weapons since the beginning of the year.
Oh, awesome.
And 394 rounds. It's 374 rounds.
Oh, wow.
Assorted rounds. Of the 17 weapons, 5 of them are AR-15 rifles, you call M16. Those are powerful weapons. We have recovered 1 380 pistol, 2.40 pistols, 1 shotgun, 1.45 pistol. And the area recovered them, 4 of them were recovered in 5 Keys, 2 in Q Town, 8 were recovered in Blue Hills. And that was one of the areas where the gangs do operate. And we have, the others were one in Grace Bay, 1 in North Caicos, and 1 in Grand Turk.
Yeah. And then also, like you mentioned, well implied. It's just, to me, I may be wrong, it's just a few people that are committing these acts.
Yes.
And we need to get them.
Yes.
It's just a few, it's not like it's hundreds of people.
Yes. It's a few and we have a lot of unattached youth. And let me maybe zero in on that a little. If we allow our youth to continue to be exposed as they are, we're up for serious problem.
Yeah.
When you look at the market force within TCI, the level of development that is taking place. When I heard a figure like 1.7 billion in development, in building.
Yes.
And there's maybe another 4 billion that is in waiting. And do you have the capacity, the infrastructure for that level of investment? But not only that, but the skills. Do we have the skills? Do we have the people with the skill to build? And I'm of the view that there are many examples within the region that I believe, as an island, Turks and Caicos Islands can model in terms of how do we expose our young men to skill training, certification. Because most of our tradesmen are imported, are persons who are given permit. And I think there are a number of institutions. How do we get our young men, for example, and young ladies to engage in skill training?
Yeah.
There's a program in Jamaica, Heart or NTA, which is it's an international established, the certification. How do we maybe can piggy back on that?
I think they're trying with the community college, with TVET.
Yeah, to TVET, so that you get that level of certification and encourage our men and women to engage so that we can maybe reduce and the importation of laborers, and we have laborers within the country to do those developments. And I think the amount of youth that I leave in school without any visible means of subsistence, once they leave, they are not employed, those can pose significant threat to the country. And so we have to find a way to develop them and enroll them into institutions like that. And as I say this, the social agencies can also get involved in creating opportunities. I was involved in a process, one that they call Project Star. It was something that was established by the private sector organization, where all the companies, they donate significant amount of resources to that project, managed by the private sector organization, identify hotspot, less fortunate community, youth that are exposed, are unattached youth, and we enroll them in training program, giving them skills that can make them into and the society was called to participate by contributing to what you call social bond. And I think it's something that we can look at and really model to redirect the energy of our young people.
I think the apprenticeship program is similar. And maybe we could, take it from there and make it even bigger. So I like the point. Now, I interviewed 2 nightclub owners. One of them I want your opinion. One of them was suggested that the drinking age is too low. I think they say it's 18. They think it should be increased to 21. And another of the nightclub owners was saying, the government has restricted them until midnight. And they don't think that's going to make a difference. So what they're saying, say they went to Jamaica, and he said in Jamaica they actually have police officers present at nightclubs. Is that the plan? If the restrictions is removed, do we expect to see more police officers present at nightclubs?
What I can't get into the technicalities and the granular details. What we are trying to do is create a strategy to police nightlife. I can't tell you what it's going to be like. I'm not certain in terms of, I don't like the idea to post police at nightclubs. I think if you need to get security guards to do that.
They have security guards.
So the security guard do that. The police is a public good. Policing is a public good, so we don't really want to confine to any. So a police present in a community must impact on everybody. So we want to police nightclubs or presence, not only nightclub, night activities. So that is a plan that we, and I've been having discussion at the highest level, how we can reorganize ourselves. Because there's no doubt that there needed to be some level of structure in some of the activities, because there was no consistency in terms of when you open and when you close. So an ideal situation, for instance, clubs, I don't have a problem, for me personally, for club license, once you have the appropriate license and the appropriate mechanism in place, because there's a certain standard that you normally use. The regime that I'm accustomed to, if you're going to establish a club, you have to go through a rigid regime. Your building must have a certain dimension, the exit and entrance and all. Fire will have to inspect it. The police will have to inspect it. A number of, once you satisfy, your background is checked into. Once you satisfy that, then you are given the license and then you operate. And clubs normally go for 4 o'clock, except I think on Sundays. I really personally, I don't really have an opinion in terms of the time. What we want to do is ensure that it is properly policed. It's properly policed. And that is something that we are working on.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Well, I think I've come to the end of my interview with you. I appreciate the opportunity. Very informative. Are there any, before I go, I don't like, there was, no, that's okay. I'm not going to leave that. Do you have anything else you want to share before we end?
What I will say to the public and to TCI, I want to address visitors again. TCI is the safest place. We are open for business. There's no threat to visitors. We have instituted what we focusing on some of the tourism areas where we have greater visibility of the police. The likelihood of a visitor being hurt physically is almost 0%. So I will say to the visitor, you are welcome to TCI.
Yes.
I want to say to the citizens, thank you for your support. And we need you to continue support us. This is not the time for us as a nation to be divided.
No.
But this is a time for us to be focused, to bring normalcy to this nation.
Yeah.
We can't stand by and allow a few people who have their own self-interest to destroy this nation and to put everybody in fear.
Yeah.
The police need your support. We are committed to support you. And if you see something, say something, call us. We will respond. We are committed to making TCI a safer place.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I can't say anything better than that. I think you concluded really well with those powerful words. Thank you for watching the Drexel SEMA show. I hope you've been informed. I've certainly been informed. And I really need us to stress the importance of us working together. You know, let's stop looking at someone as where they're from. Let's look at getting things done. I think that's what we need to focus on. Get the right people to get things done. Because at the end of the day, we'll all be impacted if things are not getting done, if our country become like a wild, wild west. And we don't want that to happen. So let us support each other. Let's start building trust with the police, report that crime to the police. If you know something, you need to report it because it may not happen to you, it may happen to one of your family members or your friends. So it's important for us to report the crime. And then let's stop just, spreading rumors. Let's get directly to the source. And I'm very hopeful, and I believe that, Turks and Caicos is going to become a better place. And I want to thank the Commissioner of Police for what he's doing so far in your leadership. Thank you so much for making a difference. And I'm be looking for greater things. Thank you very much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rise, rise up.